So it's almost bedtime, and I'm in the bathroom with my 4-year-old daughter, Olivia. It's it's taken me 15 minutes to get her into the bathroom, but but now that we're in the bathroom, I'm pretty sure that I can get her to brush her teeth. So I take some toothpaste and I put it on the toothbrush, and she starts screaming, "I want to do it myself!" So, so she takes her hand and she wipes the toothpaste off of the toothbrush. And then she looks at the toothpaste stuck on her hand and she starts crying. "Olivia, it's okay. It's okay. We'll just wash it off." So then I turn on the water and she starts screaming again. "I want to turn on myself." Things go on like this for another 15 minutes. And miraculously, somehow, I get her to brush her teeth and get her to bed. In the morning, my wife has an important call with her boss. So I'm in charge of breakfast and getting Olivia to school. No problem. How hard can it be? Before Olivia wakes up, I go to the kitchen and I start making her breakfast. A cheese sandwich with the crusts cut off, cut into even triangles. Then I peel an apple and I cut it into little sticks that I call apple French fries, because this is the only way I can get her to eat her breakfast. As I'm waiting for Olivia to wake up, I'm reminded that being a parent feels like the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. When Olivia wakes up, we sit at the table and we eat breakfast. And surprisingly, it's easy and uneventful, and she just eats. When she's almost done, I say, "Olivia, it's time to go to school. Let's get ready and go." And then she says, "I want to see mommy." But I tell her, "Mom's busy. You can't see mommy." So then she goes, picks up her hula hoop, puts it over her head and says, "But I want to show mommy hula hoop." "Olivia, you can't show mom hula hoop. She's busy. She can't talk now." But she doesn't listen to me. She gets up and she bursts into the room and she grabs onto mom and won't let go. My wife is motioning for me to get Olivia out of the room. So I grab her and I pry her away from my wife and I take her outside. Olivia's now crying. And I'm like, "Olivia, mom is busy. She can't talk." She breaks free from my grip and she runs back in the room. This time I pick her up and I carry her into another bedroom and I hold on to her and I'm yelling at her, "Olivia, mom is not free to talk. Do you understand? She can't talk." I hold on to her until she gives up and just falls to the ground crying. I'm so angry. My heart is racing. I leave the room and I slam the door behind me. And as I'm standing there, I look down and I see Olivia's train set on the ground. And I pick it up and I throw it into the air and it crashes down to the ground in pieces. Then Olivia comes out. She stopped crying until she sees that I have completely destroyed her train set. I can't believe what I've just done. Like, I feel like the worst dad ever. So I lie. "I was just putting your train set away. We can rebuild it. You want to build it again?" So Olivia and I sit down on the ground and we start putting the train tracks back together. And when it's back together, she takes the train and she starts to push it around the tracks. Everything seems to be okay again. Olivia goes back to the table and she finishes her last piece of sandwich. And at this moment, I start to think about how things must look to Olivia. She could easily be thinking, "Man, this guy doesn't let me brush my teeth the way I want to brush them. He doesn't let me see my mom. He locks me in the room. And then I come out here and he breaks my train set. What is wrong with this guy?" I think about how it must take a lot of resilience to be my daughter, to, to bounce back from one disappointment after another, to come back and give me another chance. Suddenly, being a parent doesn't feel so hard. But man, being a kid seems really tough. I'm still sitting on the floor and I see this piece of train track that has flown to the other side of the room, and I pick it up, I go get it, and I realize that I can build this train track even higher and make a hill. So I build it, I rearrange it, and I take the train and I send it down the hill. And Olivia watches the train go down and she starts smiling and she cheers. And then I see another piece and I can do it again. So I build the train tracks and I build it even higher and I make a taller hill. And Olivia cheers again. And then she asks me, "Daddy, why do you keep changing and changing?" And I tell her, "Well, I want to make it better. I'm trying to make it better." And she says, "Oh, And that seems to be a good enough answer. It's raining when we leave the house and I drive her to school. When we get there, I say goodbye and she walks up the stairs to the entrance of her school. But before she goes in, she turns around, runs back down the stairs and peeks her head through the fence and she yells, "Bye, Daddy." I say bye again, and then I go back to the car and I sit there with the rain pounding down on the roof. And as I sit there, I think about what happened that morning. And I think that when I go pick Olivia up from school later that day, I'm pretty sure that I can do better. Thank you.